Okay, so now we're looking at one of my more favourite radios. I have a couple of these myself. Actually, one's coming from a very good friend of mine over in South Africa, which is for my personal shack. And we've had one from Ross, VK3MY, better known as Strictly Ham. We've had his in our museum for a long, long time. So we don't need a third one. David's that's coming over from South Africa. I specifically wanted that for some very individual reasons. I know of David very well, and that one I just thought, yep, that looks like it go in my shack. But had I seen this, I probably this was one of those things where this came in around the same sort of time I was making decisions on grabbing the other one. I may have not bothered with David's realising this one when I got it so clean, but it was already in the mail, so no big deal. Anyway, so that means this one here, I'm taking a bit of a punt. This is the extremely clean one here, is going to go out, and we haven't actually got the other one in from South Africa yet, so I am taking a punt. And if I get it and it's 10 times worse than this one, watch me change out the... No, I won't. No, this will be my bad luck. Okay, things to pick up on SBE Console 6s. Normally they're all marked across the top here. They're stuffed everywhere. They've got pieces missing out of them. The tops of here are dented. The whole front here, I've seen them where they're in so much trouble it's not funny. This, as you can see, is just incredibly clean face plates, incredibly clean glass, apart from the fact that I haven't cleaned it properly there. But as you can see, it's got a little bit of marking just on the top section there. But apart from that, really, really good. So, as I said, I'm sort of taking a bit of a punt here that the one that I'm going to make my personal radio in my shack is in better condition, which is going to be a hard call. So we'll see, because these are hard to find without being bashed up. I have seen so many SBE Console 6s over the years that unfortunately just have not been looked after. Don't know what, but people leave things sitting on top of them. They dent the tops. Anyway, if I went on about all my sort of problems with how people treat radios, I suppose we'd never get any spare parts, would we? Anyway, so this one's going to come with the standard SBE microphone. You can get bass mics for them. We do have them, so talk to me about that. But it's coming with a SBE mic, the handheld mic. It is, well, I suppose let's show you what it is instead of me talking about it. Let's put a bit of a receive signal in. So we're going to put in 0.5 of a microvolt off the old IFR. And we're going to go to there. Hang on. And I'm just setting myself up here onto the right frequency. What am I at there? I might be a bit low actually. Let's have a look here. Generate. Oh, try that. Actually put some tone on, be a good idea. And let's just have a look here what I'm on. Give me 2 seconds while I get myself sorted out. I'm doing something wrong here. Okay, it's called plug the RF lead in the back. So let's take back down to where we were. 0.5 a microvolt there, and yes, we're hearing at 0.5, which is nice, and works so much better when you plug the RF lead in. Weird that. And let's just bring that up a bit, just a little bit more level. Oh, hang on, turn that volume down a bit. Goodness. Now that's 50 microvolts there, so we're reading a little bit under sort of where I'd expect it to be. RF gain all the way up. Yep. It's going to take a little bit more to get to S9. So it's taking about, what is that? Just having a bit of a look here. 50, it's about 90 microvolts. So yeah, that meter could just, a little tad touch just to sort of get that 100% right, but not too worried about that. I do want to get rid of that noise because that was annoying me. Okay, so let's just see some AM power. Well, it's good we're seeing carrier. Good. Let's have a look. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Yeah, plenty of powers. Let's go to sideband. We'll go to LSB channel 35. 1 2 3 4 5. Yeah, doing this 12 to 15 watts, no problems. 1 2 Harlow 1 2 Harlow. Yep. Okay, so yeah, that's transmitting nice and receiving nice, which is sort of what we like to see on this. Okay, so what can we do next? Probably an antenna would be good, I think, just to display a couple of things. I suppose a couple of things I can do. Selecting channels, you can either go fast, up, down, etc., as you can see there, sorry, or you can go slow. You can go fast, up, fast down, slow up, slow down, etc. Or you can go channel 35 like that, and you'll hear that. You can actually turn the volume of that up, that beeping, so you can hear that more. It used to drive me mental, to be honest, but anyway, that's cool. Typical base station in the fact it can be set to auto, etc., to turn on at certain times, and be your alarm clock. Not something probably people are going to do these days. Full RF metering with SWR power sitting in there. Obviously AM, USB, LSB. Okay, so pretty much the rest of this is all pretty basic. They had an interesting open squelch idea. So the meter basically went like this, and when you squelched it, now if a signal came along, so if we create a signal at the moment, like we put it like so, I think we've got that loud enough, it'll open and then close the squelch. And this was handy for if you were scanning, say, your 35 channels, 40 channels, get it right, sorry, half asleep. So you could actually just let that sit going. It's like so. If something broke the squelch, the meter would actually show it over here and you'd hear it. So if we sit that there and put a signal up, it should find our, probably a little bit less than what I just put it. That's better. And it's bleeding through a bit because I'm putting a bit too much level through there. A lot too much level, actually. Let's see if I can... Yeah, 35. Oh, I need to learn how to turn volume controls down. Anyway, looking good. So basically, yeah, the radio could just sit there and scan away. You'll see a lot of these have been converted to 99 channel. Look, it is an easy mod to do. I don't suggest it. I think you're really devaluing the radio. I've got to be honest, I own both, and really it's just one of them I probably will mod back to standard, just being quite honest. I've got one at the moment that is a known 99, and it's, well, I'll be honest, it's the one coming in from South Africa. I know for a fact the one I've got here of my own is a 40 like this one, and it's a very simple mod to take it back to 40. Down South Africa, probably things aren't as strict out. I don't know, but anyway. All right, let's see if we can hook up an antenna. I haven't got the best antenna that I'd like out here, I must admit, but we're going to try. Have a look. Turn that down a bit. Jeez.
You're leaving snail trails behind.
Okay, so we're just having a bit of a look at what's actually on. I'm on an 8-element beam that's on 10 meters, so it's a little bit off, but it seems like the band's open a little bit at the moment. Trying to see if we can just pick up a conversation somewhere. Oh, we'll leave it on 35 for the minute. Now, these, just to be make you aware, totally legal to use in Australia, totally type approved radio. These were brought into Melbourne. A company bought them in. I wish I had the money to buy one. I remember a chap down in Brompton actually bought one of these in South Australia when I was only 13 years old, I reckon, 12 or 13. And, oh, look, you know, it was like he was the god of Adelaide when he bought this thing. And, you know, I was so jealous. I just thought, when's he not going to be home so we can break his window and take it? But never did that, of course. But no, it was really one of those things you aspired to back when you were a teenager. And when you're a teenager, it was really something that you sort of thought, love to have one of these things. They're just such a, I don't know, they're just all singing, all dancing sort of radio. And look, in the end, they're just a 40 channel CB radio. I get it. You know, a lot of commotion over nothing, some people would say. Me, I love the history. I love the fact that, you know, you got to look at where electronics was in the 1980s. And you've got to start saying, well, look, hang on, what could we do and what couldn't we do? You know, sort of late 70s, early 80s, especially digitally. You know, digitally, this was a masterpiece. You know, to have all these push-button controls. You know, look, I've got the mobile version of this. Well, I've got two of those, actually, the mobile versions. And, you know, look, they're just amazing for what they did in the time. Let's have a look. Bring that up a bit. I don't think anyone's going to hear us because
too much noise coming out of Victoria today.
I can try, but 229, just testing. Anybody hearing us on an old SBE Console 6, please?
That's what I wanted to hear. Every station in Victoria come back to me and say, yeah, we're all out here. Big pile up.
Anybody tell me if you can hear me on an old SBE Console 6? Break.
I can hear you, but it's not right.
Okay, buddy. Yeah, actually, you're a little bit distorted here at the moment. I think overdriving a little bit.
Yeah, you just like a little bit under power, a little bit wobbly, but I can hear you in Western Australia.
Good on you, mate. Actually, we'll have a look at that because we're running on the 110 volt supply, and actually, it's amazing. Just turn him down a bit. We're running on the 110 volt supply, which actually should be fine, but I just will check that just to make sure that it's handling the current. That was another thing that sometimes people would do with these radios is they would turn that down. Sometimes they would ramp the power up on them. It didn't look too bad though. It was peaking a little bit over 15, I think, on a PEP meter just before. Sometimes what was happening was the power supplies were right on the verge, but yeah, look, I did have a listen on the monitor and it actually sounded pretty clean. So, but we will triple check that just in case Mr. West Australian CB radio operator is right. Here we go. Geez, I tell you what, there's a bit of skip coming through, and we're actually, that's the other thing, that beam's pointing to the US at the moment, because we've been working a lot of 10 meter DX on 28.490, so that's been really good. All right, anyway, you get the idea. They're a really cool radio. Trust me when I say this, this is not the salesman in me, probably a little bit, but I know these radios inside out in the fact that finding good ones is hard. This one is going to be up for sale. We're not sure how we're going to do it yet, whether we chuck it on eBay or this is a little bit special in that fact that market sort of dictates a fair bit. Look, I think it's going to go for a few dollars. I sold one to a mate of mine, very good mate of mine I was on the phone to today, for probably half the price that this is going to go for. But he's got all the problems of scratched up, dented up, etc. And you know what? And that thing has still gone up in value. I was talking about that today, that it's still, from where he bought it, 2-3 years ago, I think, from memory. And look, he's a good mate. I didn't charge him a lot for it. But that thing has made money in that time. And these things, the Console 6s, the Motorola 555s, the Midland 999s, those radios, they're just not capable of losing money.
Jason, this way, Jason, Juliet Alpha, TRX November.
Good on you, Jason. Good signal, mate. Yeah, look, one thing I am, I'm hugely aware of where the market has been going. Some of you have been saying it's been ridiculous. I would almost agree with some things I've seen, yes. Other things, guess what? I've had to be the buyer to get that particular model, to get that particular thing we need for our collection. We've had to be the people who's been, paying the stupid numbers for it. And you know what that means? It means there's equally stupid people out there that are, wanting to pay the same sort of numbers. Takes two to tango with these sort of auction things. And a lot of you are aware, this one came out of New Zealand from a rather large buy of 1,616 kilos of radios. And, and I'm battling through them at the moment. Unfortunately, health-wise, it's just stuffing me around a bit. But what I will say is that, we've got a job and a half to get through there. There's a full-time job for 2 years if someone wanted it, sort of really getting through a lot of everything that was there. And we'll have our surprises. Believe me, this will not be the mint collection everybody thought at times. There will be things that I'll go, oh, you've got to be kidding. And I've already found a couple that I've gone, I'm not particularly happy about a couple of things, so we'll deal with that in time. But for the moment, let's deal with a good one. And look, this is a good one. Things to watch out with Console 6s, 9 times out of 10, you'll fire them up, you'll go like this, and you'll go, and you won't hear anything. We're hearing something at the moment. You'll fire them up, you'll go click it 3 times, and they come good. Now, this was a very typical fault that happened with the relays on them. I've quickly pulled the cover, cleaned the relay on this one, so look, I think it'll be fine. But I never guarantee anybody that, sort of some of these old radios, they just can be shockers as far as they come up with surprises and bits and pieces. Look, this one looks like a really good one, to be fair. I've just come across a couple today that, I've come across a couple today that have been real disappointments, and I can't even put them on video. It's just not good. So we're going to get things like that, of course. It's a numbers game, and sometimes things disappoint. But anyway, all right. Well, look, Console 6. If you're interested in having one of these really iconic radios, email me, brenton@posnav.com.au. I'm pretty hard to get on the phone at the moment. I'm not even going to try and hint that I'm easy. I'm not. There's some other difficulties going on at the moment that are taking up days of my time, unfortunately, and sometimes not the best fun. But within that, we are still trying to sort of keep moving forward, and we'll sort of keep you up to date with what's there. We're way behind on the website, so my apologies. Just about everything that's on there right now is sold, so I've got to, obviously do a lot of updates. Okay, anyway, SBE Console 6. Hope you've enjoyed it. They're just a wonderful radio. One last flick around, because I just...
There's a few stations calling 351 out there, but conditions are up and down at the moment. There's a lot of big knocks coming through as well, big stations, but I can hear you out there. There's a few.
I'm just flicking through the channels for a last look. Actually, there's not as many stations.
Yeah, good, mate, good, yeah. No,
Anyway, all right, that's enough. Okay, 73 is all the best. 16 minutes is enough time to spend watching a video of mine, that's for sure. Good luck to you if you've made it this long. All the best. We'll get this one up soon. Send me an email if it's of interest to you. Cheers, all the best.